So for our group, we decided to contribute to a project called Mindustry. It's an open source automation tower defense game. Now, this project has multiple resources associated with it, including a wiki, a Trello page, and a Java docs page. Its wiki is located at mindustrygame.github.io/wiki, and its Trello page is found within the given URL. Now, its documentation page is also found within that same mindustry.github.io page/docs. Its main programming language is Java, and it uses quite a few additional technologies. These technologies include OpenGL for embedded systems, Quartz Core, Core Graphics, Core Audio, Audio Toolbox, and AV Foundation. And it uses its own game development library that's based on libgdx. Mindustry has its own homepage located at mindustrygame.github.io, and it has its own contribution guide located in its GitHub page in the contributing markdown file. For tracking issues, Mindustry uses the default GitHub issue tracker. Also, while the project does allow people to contribute, it does not have a code of conduct, nor does it have a development wiki. However, it does have documentation provided via Java docs. In order for contributors to find an issue to work on, Mindustry uses its own issue tracking structure. In its structure, the project does make use of tags to identify tasks, including easy tasks. These tags include a disgrace, bug, draft, duplicate, Hacktoberfest, Hall of Shame, and help wanted, in progress, invalid, and won't fix. Some of these, like a disgrace, that was imported from an old template, and the Hacktoberfest Hall of Shame was just to prevent people from spamming during Hacktoberfest. Now, the rate of activity amongst its issues varies from issue to issue and also depending on time. For example, the issue we chose to work on only has 2 to 3 comments on it, and it's already been closed. To contribute to this project, we must at least know who the main contributor is. Mindustry also does not require knowing any contributor. It rather just requires notifying the main contributor whenever a significant change is made. This is good for us as we do not know any of the contributors. As for who the main contributor is, that is the project's creator, Enuken. As for the type of governance model, it seemingly has a form of a benevolent dictator-style governance model. The proof of this is in the contributing guidelines, which states that the project's owner must be contacted before any significant changes are made. However, this is not necessary for most changes. To keep up to date with the project and communicate with Enuken, Mindustry has its own Discord server, and the main contributor has their email provided to contact them. To help resolve issues, this project makes use of GitHub's issue tracker. I have used the issue tracker to notify someone that my group and I will be working on their issue. This is the same issue that discussed before that is already closed, the map moving after closing issue. Now, talking about the frameworks that they use with Quartz Core Graphics, these are all for its iOS versions, and for its iOS version, Mindustry uses several frameworks. As stated, these frameworks include OpenGL for embedded systems, Quartz Core, Core Graphics, Core Audio, Audio Toolbox, and AV Foundation. Mindustry also uses its own game development library called Arc. Now, Arc is based on libgdx game development library. It also has its own queuing systems, which includes a pathfinding queue system and a task queue system. Given that this is a video game, the type of hierarchy it follows is similar to a model view controller hierarchy. That is to say that the user makes a change to their map in some way, and those changes result in an update to the interface for the game, which is to say that the user uses a controller, such as a block, to modify their map, which results in the map being updated graphically. Its code structure has design patterns that rely on the use of other interfaces and classes. Examples of this include the dialogues, such as the logic dialog, which are based on a class called base dialog, which itself is based on a class called the dialog class. Now, to set up Mindustry, all that is needed is Gradle installed. It is recommended that we utilize the IntelliJ IDEA Community Edition. However, other IDEs can be used, even though that is not recommended. To better understand the code, the Java documentation is provided, and we've given that link to that in the provided PDF. In case that can't be found, as stated before, this documentation can be found at mindustrygame.github.io/docs. This is the only documentation provided, so the architecture is not documented. To meet the project's code standards, the contribution guidelines provide some coding standards and policies, which is again located in that contributing markdown file. Included in its contribution file is a set of style guidelines. That's how to write the code properly and to make it fit with the general style of the project. In its contribution guidelines, Mindustry does provide guidelines for submissions. This includes, as stated before, contacting the developer, the project's owner, or the main contributor, Anakin, before making any major changes or submissions. It does not have a checklist or anything, just some rules to follow regarding submissions. Another example is not pushing any formatting pull requests.